Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a new Procreate Process video for you guys, and due to requests, I am doing a voiceover explaining what I'm doing on this. I usually do long form videos of these for my Patreons, by the way. Shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate you guys' support. But back to the topic at hand. So for this week, I wanted to do another drawing, like a retro drawing, just to stay polished on that, since I still have a couple weeks to go in that class, and I didn't want to forget everything that I've learned that I love so much. So this is the tea, sis. So I found a photo reference that I liked. I really like her pose, and so I started sketching the basic shapes. I've been doing this kind of lightning technique for limbs that are foreshortened for a while, and I really recommend it if you're having trouble drawing things that are towards the viewer. But after I started drawing this girl, I decided that wouldn't it be cool if instead of just, sitting there with a backpack, she was an aviator and she had like a jetpack backpack and she's an explorer. And then that's when the whole idea started coming together for me. So I changed her outfit a little bit and I changed her backpack a little bit. But that's the point of using reference, really. It's to help you with the shapes and ignite ideas. When I started this piece, all I wanted to do was just like, okay, I'm gonna take an hour or so today to do this, like not as a warm-up, because warm-ups are a completely different topic, but just as like a practice piece. But in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll explain it as I go along. So don't fret. Right now I'm just using the sketch brush from the BluesSsatan brush set. If you're new to my channel, welcome. But if you're not, you probably know that I use BluesSsatan's brushes almost exclusively throughout my entire process, and I definitely recommend her brush set. It's just really nice and responsive and dynamic. So I think, I'll put a link in the description down below to where you can get them if you want to her Gumroad, where you can buy them. But yeah, so after the sketching layer, I will usually do an inking layer with a different color. I don't like using black in my pieces necessarily, just because I think it's a little bit harsh, so I usually will pick like a dark blue or a dark purple. But if you like using black, then you do you, man. Like, we all have to just follow our hearts when it comes to creativity. And this, I just want to share with you guys my art. By no means I'm saying like this is the only way to do it, or you have to do it like this. I'm just saying, look, this is how I do it. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can add value to your life. Maybe you can learn something from this. But I'm definitely not saying that I am the one and only knowledge holder of anything. I'm just learning too, and I'm just trying to do my best and improve and help you guys improve in the meantime. So if I'm succeeding at that, then I'm happy. Anyway, I decided to give her a generic like wing symbol. I did not reference anything for that, as you can see. So if it is a part of something I am unaware of, and it was completely unintentional. But yeah. Oh, and the one good thing about doing this retro style that I've been doing for a while is that I've been learning a lot about folds in clothing, and I think that everybody should take the time to understand how folds work. I'm really having a good time learning more about fabric and how it lays. And honestly, that's all you can hope for is that you're having fun in the process. And if it's not fun, then why bother, right? Although I will kind of take that back now, right? Because there are parts of the process that are not fun that you have to do, like I think that they're fun, but a lot of my students don't. They don't think that practice drawings are fun. They don't think that drawing, hands 100 times is fun. I personally do, but maybe just because I think it's fun, it makes it fun, or because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much, then that makes it fun for me. So I think it's a matter of attitude, and if you have a positive attitude when it comes to learning, then I think you will learn a lot faster than if you're a crab apple about it. But I'll pop back in when I start coloring, I guess. For now, enjoy. Okay, so here is where the real fun starts for me. I feel sometimes that I don't give line work all the time and respect it deserves because coloring is my jam. And maybe I rush through my line work sometimes, but calling myself out here. But then now I'm coloring, and this time I'm not using the selection tool because I was feeling a lot more organic that day, and so I wanted to just use the line brush tool to color in the outline and then color it in, or drag and drop the color in. And it's not something I would do if I'm coloring professionally, but since this is a piece that's just for fun, just for me, I thought that I could make it more organic, I want to say, because if you were coloring this by hand, you would have to do it like this. You wouldn't be able to select and fill. I am creating a new layer for every color that I put in, just in case I decided to go back in with the hues slider and change the colors, which in the end I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I didn't change the hue of the colors individually, because I really liked this color palette that I made. This is one of the things that you should take advantage in Procreate, is that you should create your color palettes and save color palettes that you like, of colors that work together well, because then that will save you time later in deciding which colors to use. For her goggles, I was planning on already at this stage on putting the lenses on a separate layer and make it transparent. So I already knew that going in. And I just picked a random color in the background so I could properly see what colors they are. It's gonna change a lot, and I'm gonna play a lot with other sliders, but you'll see what I mean. I really wanted to use that lime green color, and I hadn't yet. I probably should have made her sweater that color. But this time I wanted to try something new, and instead of coloring in the shadows first like I normally do, I wanted to color in the highlights first. It's important to keep yourself guessing. It's important to try new things. If I always did things the exact same order, the exact same way, I don't think I would grow so much. But yeah, I really like this chartreuse color. It's one of my favorite colors right now, just in general. And I did buy a marker recently. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I had a little Blick haul recently. I did not go in the store because I want to be clear about this. We're still in, dealing with COVID, and I still think that you shouldn't go put yourself in harm's way, if you will. So if you have to go out, do wear a mask, please. And yeah, so anyways, this is part of the retro thing now, where you are supposed to line the highlights, and I did do it this time in this part of the artwork, but I think I don't like it so much this time, and I don't think I have to always do things exactly the same way, like I said already. So you're gonna see me like erase some of these lines in the very near future. And that's the point I want to drive home today, is trust the process. Like you saw in my last video, and if you didn't, I'll leave a link down below about my favorite books that I'm reading right now. And trust the process is definitely one of them. And in it, the author talks about how, yes, you should have a plan, but also you should be free to deviate from the plan if inspiration strikes. If you're doing something and then suddenly you're like, oh, this is a better way of doing it, there's really nothing that's making you continue on that direction other than yourself. You can always just decide to change direction in the middle of the process, and don't even worry about it. Like, just be happy. Do what makes you happy, and if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. So there you go. Cheesy lyrics for you. But yeah, so now I'm in my element. As you can see, I'm adding shadows, and adding shadows is my favorite thing. This is where I usually do how I normally do things, is by adding shadows first. And I think cell shading is my style. Sometimes I will blur out the edges, but I really like the look cell shading gives, and I'm just using the same color that I used on her skin for shadows on a multiply layer. So for me, highlights are screen or add, depending on the effect of the light, and shadows are multiply, basically always. So if you don't know how layer formats or layer modes work on Procreate or Clip Studio, or even on Photoshop, just try. Just click on things, add, reduce, remove, change. The worst that can happen is you press Control Z or Command Z, or tap the screen with 2 fingers in the case of Procreate, and undo what you just did, and then you're back to where you were before. No harm, no foul. But don't be afraid of trying things. Like, worst comes to worst, it shuts down and it crashes, and then you reboot it and you learn something from it, and then you do it again. Like, nothing is really that precious, like don't get too attached to your work, because it's just gonna hold you back, and it's gonna stop you from experimenting things. Okay, so I wanted to add a background now, and I knew I wanted to add some clouds, so I picked a blue and added clouds again with the BluesSsatan brushes. Is the diffuse brush in different colors that I picked organically. I did not look up reference for clouds. This is like a screen cap of my actual iPad. So if I was gonna look up reference, you would see me do so. But I've drawn clouds enough that I'm pretty sure I know how to draw them. And now it's just me fiddling with it, trying to add more retro vibe and style. I will fiddle with this a while. But as you can see, I'm experimenting a lot with this piece. You know, I'm not just following a formula or taking anything for granted. And you know, it's okay to go back in and erase things. I usually tell my little students not to erase when they're first starting out, because I think it's important that they learn to put down the right lines. But I mean, and I mean it, but I mean when drawing physically, because they waste so much time trying to make the perfect drawing right away, when it's like, just start a new one. Like that, you shouldn't be focusing on erasing. Oh, and then I downloaded some new brushes that are these like texture, and I really wanted to use that in this piece. So I added it to the selected area of the highlights, and then I deleted the highlights that I had before. Now watching the video, I was like, maybe I should have kept the highlights. Like, they were pretty cool. But I like how the final piece turned out. And so by this point, I'm just playing with the different brushes and seeing what they can do. And I also recommend you do this if you download any brushes or purchase any brushes from anybody, is to just play with them, see what they can do. I've bought packs of like 400 brushes, and then in the end just ended up keeping like, I don't know, like 20 of them that I like. And I think, you know, for me it's worth it, because I like experimenting and I like looking at things, and I like trying new things and new art materials. And oh, so you see me moving those little triangles is because they were creating tangents. And if, you know, Jill Thompson was here, she would just point out all the tangents in my work. And I can hear her voice in my head whenever I have any tangents. It's like, tangents, like, don't do tangents. So I had to move those triangles in order to avoid tangents. Yeah, and now I'm gonna play with the background color because I'm not happy and it's not popping. So that's gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. Oh yeah, so in order to change the color of the whole thing, I will click on the little gear and click on copy canvas and paste the whole canvas as a new layer, so that, you know, it's just, I don't have to worry about playing with the layers underneath, and then by this point it's like its own drawing. Yeah, so that's a tip for you for free. So you're welcome. And now I'm just playing with the modes. As you can see, like, I'm just seeing what works. I really like that one. So I was like, oh, I wonder if I can use that. And then, of course, always remember to sign your work. But I never know how to sign or where to sign because I don't want to disturb my drawing. So, I don't know. I should sign it more obviously, like I did here. I'm like, yes, it's an overlay. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now you can just see me playing and editing things. And if you liked it, like and subscribe. We'll post videos every week. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.